Hello, this is Tim from Fair Play Now on the 19th of February 2023, and I'm going to talk about Oxford yesterday and what a brilliant day that was. I've already uploaded a video that I recorded of the events yesterday to give you an idea of the size of the crowd and the numbers. I didn't actually record any of the speakers that were there. In fact, I haven't even heard them yet. That's something I'm going to be doing tonight because I concentrated on going round and doing what I call street interviews, really, with quite a few of the attendees, some of whom I think you'll recognise. I've got many varied characters there, so that was brilliant. But really what they were all saying basically is that this whole 15-minute city idea, which they're trying to pilot in Oxford here in the UK, pretty much everyone said something along the lines of it's thin end of the wedge, it's going to take our freedoms away. It's a Trojan horse, this whole thing that it's done in the name of climate, etc., is just a red herring, and it's all about control. And if we let it happen in Oxford, it's just going to happen everywhere, and not just here in the UK, wherever you are watching this in the world, whether it's Australia, Indonesia, United States, Canada, South America, wherever you might be, this is going to come to a town or a city near you unless it's nipped in the bud. And I think what we did yesterday is really raised the awareness of the issue. I think probably a lot of people aren't that bothered by it or aren't worried by it, just don't think it's going to be an issue. But I think we impressed upon people that, yeah, actually it is something that you do need to be concerned about and that you need to push back against your local authorities if they're trying to bring this kind of thing in your area. So I think we did that. And if you look at the footage, it's a little bit hard to gauge numbers, but you can tell that it was a fantastic turnout, more than what I was expecting. And the numbers were fantastic, and it was a really great day. Everybody had a good time, I think, and we kind of all knew that we were doing valuable work there just by attending the event. And yeah, I would sort of say that what we did yesterday was very valuable indeed. Feedback that I've heard from people who actually live in Oxford, this has just come through some sources that I get, was the majority of Oxford residents were sort of pleased to see us there, were grateful to have our support in going up there and speaking about this issue. And also, many of them apparently were saying it's literally the biggest protest or biggest event of this kind that Oxford has ever seen. Numbers wise, I would say it was probably somewhere in the 3,500 to 5,000 range, roughly. It's hard to gauge these things, but you might think that's a relatively small number. And yeah, if we were talking about places like Manchester, London, Birmingham, which are used to far bigger numbers, it would be probably a fairly disappointing number. But I reckon, let's say it was 5,000 people. 5,000 people in Oxford would probably be equivalent to 500,000 people showing up in London. And like these people were saying, I think it is the biggest event of this kind that they've ever seen in that place. So we certainly sort of put the issue on the map, I think, as far as people in Oxford are concerned. And I think the footage, not my footage, but yeah, the footage that was shot of the speakers and etc., the whole event, they will go around the whole world, and awareness on this will be raised now to a considerable degree. So, like I said before, I think we did some fantastic work yesterday, and it was a really great day. I got to speak to so many fantastic people, people who watch me, coming up to me, people I just got talking to, having a word with them and sharing the experience. People from the Crawley stand in the park. Yeah, we had a really good turnout up there. There's at least 10 of us from the Crawley stand in the park there, so that was fantastic to see. And bearing in mind, these are people who are travelling. In Crawley to Oxford is, I'm not quite sure how far it is. It's got to be 90 miles maybe. Not an inconsiderable journey or distance to travel. And many other people who attended. There was one lady who was from Macclesfield. We had people from the Birmingham area, East Midlands. We had all sorts of other people from all sorts of places coming vast distances or considerable distances to attend. And this just shows, I think, the level of passion that we've got about this issue, this thing we're facing with the 15-minute cities. And we do care about it. We don't think it's a good thing. In fact, we think it's going to be a very, very bad thing. And we need to be going into these councils, contacting these councils and saying to them, we do not consent. If these things are going to result in traffic restriction, restriction of freedom of movement, which of course is an inalienable right, it cannot be taken away from us. It's just not lawful to take that away from us. And I am putting all of the powers that shouldn't be, all of the councils, all the local governments and the national government, we do not consent to this. I do not consent to this thing, and many other people do not consent to it either. And those numbers are only going to grow as the video shot of the events yesterday spreads around the world and is viewed around the world. And if this idea isn't sort of rolled back, we are just going to do quite a lot more of these events as well until the whole thing is rolled back and shelved, because we do not and will not accept this 15-minute city thing. So that's my little piece on it, pretty much echoing what everybody else was saying in my other video that you'll see today. And what I will say is it was brilliant just talking to everybody there. It seemed like I was talking to everybody actually. I was talking to sort of Lee from Veritas Vincit, Marty from Marty Bucko. I was talking at least briefly with people who are pretty well known in the freedom movement, like Piers Corbyn and David Curtin as well, and quite a lot of other people. And if you are one of those who came up to me and said hello, it was fantastic to talk to you. And if you spoke a few words into my camera setup that I had there, thanks for your contribution, much appreciated. And I think it's that kind of footage actually that is the most effective. Just everyday people kind of appearing on camera, which isn't an easy thing to do. It's a brave thing to do if you're not used to it. I'm used to just sitting here like this speaking to camera now, but if you're not used to it, it's a scary thing to do. So I thank you for that, and I think the results that people seeing you speaking your mind is going to be felt, the results are going to be felt far and wide, and valuable results will come from it as well. So yeah, I'm still buzzing from yesterday. What a great day it was, and it was so good to see everybody. Sort of, I ended up in a pub afterwards, not far from the end point, where the little walkabout finished, and went into the pub for a drink with sort of Marty and Lee and a few viewers. So that was absolutely fantastic as well, and really enjoyed speaking to everybody. Absolutely brilliant. So gonna leave it. If you haven't seen the other footage, the other video I've put up today, I will leave a link to it in the description box and the comment section below here. So I'll let you go and check that out, and I think you'll find it highly entertaining. So gonna leave it there. Back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.